Hey guys, happy Friday. Yes, finally Friday. We made it. And welcome to the Fox 5 Live Zone. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up on the show today, let's get ready to throw down. In one corner, the MPD, in the other, the Trump administration. The two now at odds. We've got the latest. Hey, speaking of President Trump, currently on his way to Alaska, due to land any minute now. Once he does so, he'll meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And question, where do you think happens to be the only place where people don't want to see hair? It's one heck of a topic, but one we'll discuss during our Friday Talkers. All that and more coming up, but first, how about we talk weather, shall we? Caesar joining us right here on the Live Zone on a Feel Good Friday. What's up, my friend?
Well, I'm hoping everyone can feel good in the AC, Guy, because, it's been hot and humid.
Oh, very much so.
Right?
Even though walk in today, I was thinking it's so humid, but I'm pretty sure, Caesar, in about a month or two, I'm going to say I really miss that heat.
Well, you never can say too much heat is too much of a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, it is hot, it's been humid, and we still continue to deal with these conditions. And you'll notice that is exactly on that first bullet point for what you need to know. So let's take a look at that weather menu, right? We have that setting us up for today. Then a hot and humid weekend still prevails, especially as we head in towards Sunday, where temperatures are expected to get back in towards those 90s. And by the time we look at the rest of the weekend and also parts of early next week, well, we're expected to see that sunshine sticks around, but things could get a little bit on the more active side of things, and we'll talk about what that means for us here in just a few moments. Right now, we are expecting to see, again, that quintessential summer day here in the DMV. Temperatures hanging in those upper to mid 80s, humid, some rain showers. That's going to really set the tone for most of this later afternoon into the evening time frame. So again, not everyone is expected to see a rain shower, but if you do, you could hear some thunder out there, and that's where things become dangerous. So again, when thunder roars, head indoors. It's always important to take safety. So that will be what you want to expect during the earlier parts of the really of the day here for Nats baseball, right?
Sure.
Heading down to the park, temperatures could be still very comfortable, mid 80s, but we could still see some rain showers. So potentially could have a delayed first pitch, but as they take on the Phillies today, the expected first pitch is 6:45. We should be pretty dry by the time we get towards 8 o'clock. So the game should be in motion, if not wrapping up by then. Then as we head into the later parts of today, we'll see that overnight temperatures will be hanging well in towards those 70s, having some cloud cover hanging over top of us. But that's really going to be the main case. Temperatures in those 80s, still feeling very hot. It is going to be drier on Sunday, but like I said, that's where we can see the temperatures back into the 90s. We're not done with that high heat just yet. Good thing is, though, we're not dealing with any wet weather, so at least we get that little summer day where we get to enjoy some of the last bits of the pool out there. But looking at Saturday, again, like I mentioned, we do have the possibility for some of those clouds lingering overnight, and as well as some early fog. So that could make some impacts if you're looking to go on your morning run. Could see some reduced visibility. It should burn off pretty quick as we head in towards the later parts of the day. Temperatures mostly hanging around the mid to upper 80s. You'll see that a lot of us will be pleasant. I want to say pleasant, but again, that humidity actually doesn't make those 80s feel any better. But again, still very summer-like. That's what we expect to see throughout all of our regions. So again, around the DMV and the Beltway, around over towards the southeast, and even towards the northwest, where we could even see temperatures a little bit toastier back into the 90s, just given the fact we have a little bit more sunshine. But we are expected to still at least remain closer to the 80s minus Sunday, so that is going to be at least one of the better options for today, and even going into tomorrow, despite the fact that it is humid. Less high temperatures with that humidity, at least it makes it feel a little bit more bearable. So again, we don't really see humidity drop well in towards about Wednesday, and that's going to be large in part thanks to what is now Tropical Storm Erin making its way past us. So good thing is the cone is showing that it's looking to stay mostly out towards the Atlantic, right? So as it continues to strengthen into that category 3 and 4 later on into parts of early next week, right? It is going to start to recurve back out. We're not expecting to see much. As you can see with most of the models, they're all wanting it to stay well out to sea,
Sure.
and maybe making landfall over towards parts of Newfoundland over in Canada and St. John's Island. So again, not too bad out there. for us, so we get spared from that. But if anything, that actually helps us stay a bit on the drier side. So you'll notice that could see a few rain showers. This is what the European model likes, but by the time we get towards parts of that Wednesday, Thursday time frame, as Aaron continues to move off towards the east, could actually leave us in a much drier section. So again, still looking at exactly what those rain chances will be. We could expect some rain chances on Tuesday, but luckily temperatures still hanging mostly in those 80s. Still keeping an eye though for early next week as Aaron does make its way through parts of the Atlantic. But otherwise, we are going to be drying out, especially as we head in towards the second half of the week, where temperatures will be back in towards those mid to low 80s. So again, getting a nice little taste of fall, but before that, we have to get through the vegetables, which is, of course, the humidity that still sticks with us, guys. So it's not going to be fun, but hey, at least there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love the forecast as well. And we love Caesar joining us right here on the Live Zone. Truly appreciate you, my friend. Hey, guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you download the Fox Local app. That way you can take that forecast with you any and everywhere you go. And a quick correction, newsroom waving at us, just got word that hurricane, talking about Hurricane Aaron, it's officially a hurricane now. It's been upgraded to a hurricane following tropical storm status, now making it the first hurricane of the season right here in America. We'll continue to follow that developing story throughout the afternoon. Meanwhile, closer to home, we're officially 1 week into the federal takeover of D.C.'s police department. President Donald Trump's recent actions in the district have really sparked controversy and legal challenges from the city's government. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Janae Addison. Janae, it has been quite the week right here in the nation's capital. It has. So we're officially 5 days into the federal takeover, with the White House ramping up its efforts. Just earlier today, we know that the administration tapped a new emergency head for the city's police department. And then hours later, D.C.'s Attorney General filed a lawsuit challenging that takeover. So a lot of moving parts here. Yeah, it's really interesting. In one corner, you have the MPD, and the other, obviously, the Trump administration. The question is, what will happen next? Although we don't have a crystal ball in front of us. Yeah, so tensions are probably going to remain high, just as the federal forces, continue their presence in the city. We know that Trump has talked about extending that 30-day law or jurisdiction that we have right now past its expiration date. So it's just a matter of seeing how this develops. Yeah, that can happen two ways. One of which, well, the president actually declares a national emergency. The other, the president has to get the votes, and it all starts in the House of Representatives. Janae Addison, yet again, joining us right here on the Live Zone. Great work as always. Well, as many of you know, President Trump's recent federal intervention right here in the nation's capital has created confusion surrounding policing and what it can mean for residents who oppose an expanded federal enforcement presence. Joining me now to discuss this and so much more is Chad Dion Lassiter. He is a national expert in the field of American race relations and yet again kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Chad, truly appreciate your time, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's jump right into this. Chad, can you address, in essence, how the president's actions might affect, let's say, local civil liberties in the balance between, well, and really security and community autonomy?
Great question. It's really all-out assault and attack on Black and brown humanity. This is a white supremacist playbook by this president. This is nothing new. We know that there's an anthology of police brutality that is historical. And so to come into this space and to have a pretext and a context in which we're saying that Washington, D.C. is extremely violent, no city, whether it's an urban area, a suburban area, or rural area, is without challenges along the indices of violence. But what we have is, if you juxtapose what he's doing, he did the same thing in Los Angeles. That's a Black mayor. He's doing the same thing here. And I'm very concerned about the forms of trauma and the potential of vicarious traumatization as it relates to Black and brown communities, always being under a form of surveillance and suspicion.
Chad, obviously, with regard to a key component to maintaining one's safety, we can both say it's about staying informed and staying informed in a major way. Educating oneself to make sure that he or she knows their rights. This is something that out of any time is paramount, especially right here in the nation's capital.
You're absolutely right. And that's why it's a both and not an either or. People should know their rights. There should be mobilizing on a macro, meso, and micro level. People should also be able to coalesce with one another and coalition building to speak back to any police officers that are overreaching. But once again, this is an attack. We're seeing a larger attack on Black humanity with the erasure, the rollbacks of DEI, and now we're simply saying that, the nation's capital is violent, that there's all these challenges. There's structural violence as well. The cutting of Medicaid and Medicare and the rollbacks of so many historical things is also a form of structural violence that disadvantages individuals on all sides of the color line and gender line as well. And so residents should be able to speak up, speak out. They should also know their rights. They should be able to talk about when they're being traumatized. Also, they should be able to talk about when they're being targeted unlawfully as well.
Chad, you just touched on that, and that happens to be the potential rollbacks of civil rights protections, especially for marginalized communities that really could arise. Yet again, this is a major concern right here in the nation's capital.
And in the nation's capital, I think people are aware that you all have a similar commission. In Pennsylvania, we have a Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission. You all have one down in DC as well as one in Maryland. And so people need to know that they have the right under the law. So whatever's happening on a federal level, people need to know that they have rights to file a complaint against overreaching, against any form of discrimination. And so I think, once again, the moment we find ourselves in is a moment where this is a president and an administration that wants to distract. I think that we, the people, and I want to emphasize, we, the people, are very aware of what the elites are trying to do. And so we need to continue to create a beloved community. And in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. We need action. We need grassroots organizing. We need people to speak up and speak out. And we need for we, the people, to recognize that we don't want to live, whether it's DC, Chicago, Atlanta, or Philadelphia, in communities where there are paramilitary forces acting as law enforcement that are not protecting the civil liberties of we, the people.
Yet again, we have been speaking with Chad Dion Lassiter. He is a national expert in the field of American race relations, and yet again kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Chad, truly appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Well, as many of you know, all eyes are on Alaska, where U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet today. Trump told reporters on Air Force One en route to Alaska that he wasn't having the meeting to broker a deal on behalf of Ukraine, but said instead his goal was getting Putin to the table. He also stopped short of promising security guarantees for Ukraine as part of the deal to, in essence, end the war. Now, Ukrainian President Zelensky, who is not attending the meeting, emphasized that, quote, Ukraine will be counting on America. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more, the Honorable Erica Udayemi. Yet again, joining us right here on the Live Zone. Ma'am, truly a pleasure to have you on the show. I should make mention you are a retired state representative, co-founder of the City of Mableton, producer, author, and award-winning speaker. It is an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It's always great to be on the show with you all.
So before we jump into, with regard to what's taking place with the president and obviously Russian President Putin, you just heard my last guest, and we're discussing all things that are taking place right here in the nation's capital. Of course, President Trump now federalizing the MPD. MPD now bouncing and or barking back in a major way, stating that, well, the two are now at odds. I'm curious, your take on the whole matter.
Well, I don't want to get the people's hopes up. I mean, let's be real. We have seen Putin and we have seen Trump together before. This is not our first time seeing them together. And so for people to think that, wait, he may walk out on this meeting. People are thinking maybe he will shut down Putin and stand up for our country and stand up for the thousands and millions of people that are being killed every day. But we have to really be real. We cannot go into this meeting thinking that. This is someone that has praised Putin on many occasions, has really said that this is his friend. This is someone that he has a relationship with. And this is a dictator. So we don't know what is going to happen in this meeting. But what I can say is what we have seen, just what you were talking about with this DC takeover and so much more, that this president seems as if he's moving to be a dictator. So let's see what comes out of this meeting. Is this going to be something that we can be proud of, or is this going to be something that we're going to be ashamed of, just like the last 100 and some days that we've seen with this presidency?
Well, yet again, we should make mention that President Trump has stated that if the meeting is not going in the right direction, he may very well stand up and walk out. We also know that the White House could, in essence, make an economic offer to Putin that would really be lucrative enough for him to end the war. Now, if the war were to continue as it currently stands, it's really to Putin's benefit. He's gaining ground. And so it appears to me that something needs to be offered, an incentive of some sort, so that this thing can really come to an end.
Yes. And what does Trump have to offer Putin? What does he have to offer Putin? And that's a scary thought as well. And so when you say that something needs to be offered, what more can you give to a dictator? And so at this point, Putin needs to be the one at the forefront trying to offer us something, trying to offer Americans something. And I don't think that that's something that's going to happen. It's scary to know what we don't know what's going to be said in this meeting, but we shall find out very soon. But what I will say to this is that this is a long time coming. We have expected this to happen from day one. President Trump has said, even after his election, that this war would end. Even after his election, even before him getting inaugurated, even before him getting sworn in, and it hasn't happened. So we've had promises. So everyone is looking to see what happens at this summit, to see if these promises are going to be kept.
Yet again, all eyes are now on Alaska as President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are set to meet any minute now once the two actually land in Anchorage. Let's move on to an issue that yet again continues to capture many right here in the good old U.S. of A. And that is, we now know that a federal judge has struck down 2 Trump administration actions aimed at eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at the nation's schools and universities. Now, in her ruling, the judge found that the Education Department violated the law when it threatened to cut the federal funding from the educational institutions that continued with DEI initiatives. Your take on that?
Well, I think that when we see these judges striking down these moves from the administration, we need to note that they are not citing whether DEI is right or whether DEI is wrong. They are citing whether the law was violated, okay, and trying to get rid of the DEI. And so we have seen a war on DEI for a long time. And so every day we see in the news that one judge has struck this down or one judge has upheld something that the administration has done. But the real question is, how long is this war on DEI going to last? We've seen the benefits of DEI, and so we want to know, how long is this war going to last? How long can these judges stand up to the administration? And it's looking with this what was reported, this last report, with 2 judges out of 3. And one of the judges was even appointed by this administration. So we need to know that this is about DEI, but it's also about the law and how they're going about it. You know, you have to follow the law. Even, believe it or not, in this administration, we believe that we don't have to follow the law, but you do have to follow the letter of the law. And this is why we're seeing these things being struck down. There's been a war on DEI. There's been a war on Harvard. There's been a war on these schools. Harvard has a pause on $2 billion, over $2 billion from the federal government that would go into programs that would help students all across America, and because they want to uphold DEI. And so should this be happening? Should there be a war on DEI? And how long is it going to take? Those are the questions that a lot of people are asking, and we want the answers.
And that we will have to wait and see. We'll end with this, and that is, we know that former President Barack Obama now jumping into the debate over redistricting in a Zoom call with Texas House Democrats yesterday, warning a systemic assault on democracy spurred by Republican efforts to redraw congressional maps in Texas. Now, in that video, by the way, it was a 30-minute conversation obtained by a number of news outlets. Obama praised the Texas Democrats for standing up to the Republican push to tweak congressional maps in the state. Yet again, your response to that?
You know, this reminds me of what happened a couple of years ago when the President Trump called our Secretary of State here in Georgia and told him to find votes. That's exactly what he's doing in Texas. He told them to find seats. And the people should be able to pick their representatives. The representatives should not be able to pick the people that they represent. And it's wrong on all fronts. This is not the year for redistricting. They're supposed to be meeting right now to look at the flood damage, to go over what is going on with the flood damage and how they can repair these people that need money all over that state, that need funding to be able to repair their homes and to be able to get back in their homes. This is not a time to do redistricting. Redistricting is supposed to happen after the census comes out. And so we see they are cherry picking their voters, and it is against the law. So we have these legislators that are fleeing the state, that are raising money to flee the state. And we have people, like you said, President Obama is backing them. We have so many different people that are out there backing them. And what I say is that we have to follow the letter of the law. And that is not what is supposed to be going on in Texas right now. They're supposed to be helping these flood victims, and they're turning this into a political state in order to go and grab seats. And it's not right.
And we'll have to leave it right there. Yet again, we have been speaking with the Honorable Erica Udayemi, retired state representative, co-founder of the City of Mableton, producer, author, and award-winning speaker, joining us on the Live Zone. Always good to see you, my friend. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, as the back-to-school season approaches, students and families of all ages are facing unique mental health challenges. Whether it's a child entering kindergarten, a teen starting college, or an adult returning to the classroom, it's tough. And that's where my next guest comes into play. I'm referring to Dr. Sharifa El-Lukta. She's a licensed clinical psychologist, associate professor at Howard University, and founder and CEO of Your Neighborhood Clinic. She joins us right now on the Live Zone. Ma'am, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be seen and to be on the show.
I,
Thanks for having
I
me.
got to tell you, every time I say this, and I've said it maybe 2 or 3 times this week, it's time to go back to school, I have to do a double take. This year, or summer rather, has just flown by. With that being said, you heard the intro. A number of parents, students, kids, you name it, getting ready to return to school, and oh my gosh, there's so much anxiety. And I'm hoping you could provide us with some tips as to what one can do in order to make sure that, well, little Jimmy or little Rebecca, Jessica, you name them, will be okay when they return to the classroom.
Yes, I think this is such an important topic. Back to school is a wonderful time for parents, but it also can be an anxiety provoking time for parents and their children. And so, one of the things that I always encourage parents to do is definitely monitor your own anxiety, your own worries that you might have about your child going back to school, from the age span, right? What does it mean for you to have a student entering college? How do you feel about that? How are you nervous about that? I also encourage parents to be mindful of any negative self-talk that they might do, whether saying that they didn't like the teacher or there's too many school supplies, because all of that can sort of trickle down to the child and increase their natural anxiety about this new transition period. So I definitely encourage parents just to be thoughtful about their feelings and then mindful about what they're communicating to their child. In terms of creating a supporting environment for going back to school for children, you definitely want to help them plan out their day. If there's any changes to their schedule, you might want to do some of the entering things that schools do. You have back to school beautification day, popsicles with principals, anything that can help the child sort of understand where they're going to be at, learn their schedule, see their space. That's helpful. I also encourage parents of older children, and anyone actually older. I would say this is helpful for outside of the pre-K years, so first onward. Have your child think through what might be their goals, right? If there's something that a child can get excited about, something that the child can look forward to, that can also help minimize their anxiety. So have them think through what might be one academic goal, social goal, extracurricular goal that they're really looking forward to accomplishing this academic year, right? Also, I tell parents to help the child really make sense of the different learning that they did during the summer. Have them make that bridge of all of the new social skills that they may have learned throughout the summer, all of the great fun that they had, and think about how that can relate to what they're going to be doing during this school year.
Yeah, to that point for me, it was counting all the Kool-Aid packs back in my day. I wasn't able to do that the first time around, but by the time summer it came to an end, I had it down pat. Dr. Alukta, the other day I had lunch with a good buddy of mine and his wife, and they have a son that's about to venture into kindergarten. And Dad made mention of taking his son to, I guess there's a day where you meet all the other parents, the kids, the teachers. And he said his son left to go play, and a minute later ran back to him and said, "Daddy, I want you to come with me." And he said to his son, "I'm not going to be here with you. This is a time for you to make friends." They then went home, and the son told Mom, "I don't like this. I don't think I'm going to make any friends." I would assume that's not the only child that is experiencing something like that. And so with that being said, what can the parents do in order to make their child feel more comfortable? And quite honestly, they now have anxiety as well.
Hey, I think the making friends thing is from kindergarten onward. I have a son who is entering his freshman year at FAMU Sunday, and I think he is concerned about making friends as well. And so the conversation begins early. Well, what do you think making friends would require of you? What do you think you can do to just talk to people and really encourage them to understand when you're in kindergarten, the classroom has so many activities for you to make friends. And so really talk to them around what they might be worried about. What do they anticipate as being the difficulty? And then say these might be some of the things that you can do to help navigate that. I will also say that educators, especially our kindergarten educators, they are exceptional at helping students transition into the academic sort of arena. And so they create a classroom that's full of fun activities to help your child navigate that new terrain. They'll have circle time, they'll have things that will allow them to showcase parts of themselves from home. They'll be making all about me posters. And so for new parents where this might be your first child going into school, you really do kind of want to say, like, I've done a good job at picking a school for my child. I've met this teacher. They are an expert and they are a partner with me in terms of helping my young child transition into this new world. And of course, like you said, collaborate with other parents, go to those things, but really engage in a lot of conversations with your child around how they're feeling. And just do a little touch point in terms of skill building. Don't try to give them a doctorate in making friends in the first week. It's going to be just little touch points, little conversations around that.
Overall, it will be just fine. Yet again, we have been speaking with Dr. Sharifa Al-Lukta, a licensed clinical psychologist, associate professor at Howard University, and founder and CEO of Your Neighborhood Clinic. And quite honestly, you might get a call from me. I might need you as well for my personal self. Great tips. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
You bet. All right, guys, busy day right here in the nation's capital. If it's happening and it's happening now, we're taking you there. In this case, we are now taking a live look at a rally outside of the D.C. Department's headquarters. This is in essence to protest Donald Trump's takeover of Washington, D.C. Let's take a look in.
At this time, no, we're not going to play Welcome to D.C. because they think they're welcome. We can play our theme song, Welcome to D.C., but these law enforcement are not welcome to D.C. To the words, because I want y'all to know to stay optimistic through it all. This is how I keep going.
right, guys, yet again, you have been watching protesters actually celebrating to a certain extent, playing one of the many songs of Go-Go, the official music of Washington, D.C. Residents, at least those taking part in that protest, outraged with regard to what's happening in President Trump and a federal takeover. We'll continue to monitor that rally throughout the afternoon right here on the Live Zone. Yes, it is Friday. And there's no better way to celebrate my Friday than with my friend Annie Mae joining us right here for our Friday Talkers. What's up?
It's my first time I get to hang out with Guy. This guy's on vacation.
I know. Hey, you know what? You know how I can tell it's Friday? Watch this. One, I drop that. Two,
That's how you can tell it's Friday.
you need a microphone.
Oh, hey. Why do I do this every single time? It's because
That's my fault.
I got cords all around me on all of
That's
my
fine.
various
You know what?
different things.
The people love seeing what happens behind the scenes, so it's all good.
Okay.
All right.
There
Are
you
we
go.
good now?
Yep.
Did you like that? I'm sure you did.
Annie dropped his phone. We're just kicking this off. Great.
All right, speaking of kicking it off, how about we talk about what we kick with our feet, and what do we wear on our feet? Apparently, sneakerinas. Take a look at this, Annie Mae. So it's the new style. You know, if you happen to be a ballerina, you wear those like ballerina shoes. Well, now if you like sneakers as well, remix, you can combine the two. And apparently, it's all the rage, and everyone happens to be talking about it. Is this something that I could see you walking down the street wearing?
Do I even have to give you an answer?
I guess that'd be no.
This is so ugly. Okay, the funny thing is I'm looking at him right now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that is the
Isn't it
ugliest
weird?
thing I've ever seen. You know, it kind of looks like Vans to me.
Yeah.
Do you like Vans?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
See, it's because of that awkward, like, kind of skin patch that you have, like, below your ankle before the shoe begins.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, it's. Let me look at it.
They're a
Yeah,
little-
it's kind of.
Yeah. Why do they literally look like Vans? Look like Vans. I'm like, no, you've never seen a pair of
But
Vans
it's so
on
funny
me.
how Vans, back in my day, were like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, well,
and
things
then,
go in and
Yeah, and then they come back, and so I just don't know. I mean, I think like ballerina shoes should be for like ballerina, and
Yes.
sneakers should be for like whatever you wear sneakers for. Why like mix the two? It's just
You know
kind of
what?
weird to me.
You know what's also like a trend recently is doing those ballerina flats. Those are big for women in like the workplace, and also the literal ballerina shoes that are like made into heels.
Really?
I don't like them, like the point shoes
Yeah.
that are like made into heels.
Oh my
I'm not a
gosh.
big fan. I think they're really ugly. I think it's one of those things that'll like go in
Sure.
and then go out so quickly.
And I would
People
probably
wear them back.
assume they're uncomfortable to a certain extent.
Why would everybody talks about how point shoes are not comfortable?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that on something that's already uncomfortable, wearing a pair of heels?
Maybe
I
because
will
it's
never know.
stylish, but.
It's a no for me. You will never catch me in any type of ballerina sneaker, ballerina heel, point shoe. You won't catch me in any of that. No.
And I guarantee you won't catch me wearing
You won't
those
catch
either.
me. You won't catch Guy either wearing that.
Hey, let's talk about things that didn't exist a few decades ago. This was really big on BuzzFeed. A lot of folks talking about this. And when I saw this headline, I said, wow, I'm not really understanding it. And then I started looking at what folks were talking about. In essence, some of the things we're going to bring up, it's as if you and I would think they have been here forever, but they really haven't. They've only been here for a couple of decades. For
Okay.
example, and I know this was way before your time, CDs and DVDs. Some people are like, oh my God, I thought they were always here. Well, there happened to be a caveman time, and there weren't CDs
at
and
some
DVDs.
point, but through my life, they've been here.
How about plastic bottles? And so,
When did they come up with plastic bottles?
isn't that kind of weird? Like you're thinking back to like the 20s, maybe even the early 1800s. Yeah, no plastic bottles, quite honestly.
Well, yeah, not in my lifetime.
How about microwave ovens and timers for lights?
I don't know what I would do without a microwave oven.
Oh my gosh, you and me both. And now an air fryer.
What would I do? What would I do? Now that AI's out, what would I do without AI? Like, I sometimes think about that all the time, where I have all these things where I'm like, what did I do before that?
Yeah.
What did I do before that? I
Well,
Googled things.
What did you do before having the ability to eat yogurt, go to any fast food restaurant, and wear a seatbelt? Isn't that just, you just think, well, hey, a car's kind of been here like forever. No, not really.
You know what I always think is so funny?
What's
When they
that?
have those signs on like the highway that's like click it or ticket. I'm like, who is not wearing their seatbelt in 2025?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to talk. One, because wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Two, because the car will let you have it.
Oh gosh.
If you don't put your seatbelt
Ding,
on.
ding.
And it never stops.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going, literally, I'll be going like from my house to like the mailbox. And you're like, ding, ding. Like, okay, relax.
It
Maybe
gets
I don't
old.
need to. I don't know. But that, silly.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. But you know what? I can say there was once upon a time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like mess up my clothes, and it would, it would get wrinkled if I put the seatbelt across. So I kind of get it. Don't do it now, but.
Well, I understand that things were like different in different times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are some things that I have now that I'm like, how did I ever live life without that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm so addicted to my phone right now that like I don't know how I went through, and I always am like the first person to be like, kids don't need cell phones,
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how did I ever go through life without an iPhone? How did I ever go through life without AI, man? ChatGPT, ooh, I use ChatGPT now is my new Google.
Really?
R.I.P. Google. I'm calling it now.
Wow.
I'm calling it now.
Well,
Seriously.
you say it, it's gonna probably
because
happen.
why would I type it in Google when I could just ask the question and I could be like, no, that's not what I was saying. Add this,
Yeah.
do this. Like when I could literally be almost like essentially talking to someone.
Sure.
Versus like Googling and having to look through the articles and like obviously if it's something fact check.
Yeah.
Yes, I fact check. I'm not doing the news on ChatGPT. I'm asking silly questions, So.
Well, I love it because it makes me look like I'm smart, and
Right?
that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Like you're like reword this for me, and then all of a sudden I'm like fluent. I've got an Oxford degree.
Hey, Annie Mae, at some point, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we're all going to die.
Guy, what?
However, if you happen to hot tail it over to one town in Spain, apparently it is illegal to do so. Get this. Apparently, there's an overcrowded cemetery in a small town. Some 25 years ago, the mayor of that town said, you know what, guys? Our cemetery happens to be overcrowded, and so since you all won't allow us to expand it and or pass a
dying.
law, stop dying. I'm going to make it illegal for you to die. There is now a fine if you happen to die, but as you and I know, you're not going to be able to pay it should that happen. Somewhat interesting, is it not?
You don't have to get buried in the town that you die. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. It's illegal to die or I'm going to fine you. Okay, well, I'm dead, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know where I'll die. I haven't really thought about that yet, but I'll probably die somewhere, and then I'll probably get buried somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
Bury me at Fairfax Hospital. I sure hope not.
Well,
Like, I don't know.
But so let's say, because you're from Virginia,
Yeah.
and whatever town you're from, would you not want to be buried in that town?
No, I think my family, we have like a whole family, we have land
Like a
down
plot
in North
there. Okay,
Carolina.
got it.
So we'll probably all get buried. Like my grandparents have been buried there, so
Sure.
like we'll probably all be buried there. But I haven't really thought about it either.
And not only that,
Like-
but you wouldn't think you would get fined when that happens as well.
Yeah, you're like, sorry, you're actually not allowed to die in McLean. Sorry,
That's what I say.
you're not
Oh
allowed
well.
to. Like, go bury yourself somewhere else. I guess you can't bury yourself. You know what?
Good luck on
These are
collecting.
things that I haven't thought about, especially on a Friday, man.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask ChatGPT, and we'll get it from there. Annie Mae joining us with our Friday Talkers right here on the Live Zone. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
DC. Now, at Free DC, we're not crazy. We know that the Republicans own the House right now. So we know it's hard to fight for DC statehood right now. But as we turn the seats and we keep fighting for just to protect our home rule, we know when all this is over and Trump gone, hopefully locked up before the 4 years is up, but we don't know maybe the Epstein files will get released because of the distraction right now, that we will become a state. And DC will have the right to decide if we want National Guards just to stand on our streets and our corners just to intimidate people. Because be real clear, these guards that's out here right now, that's wasting taxpayers' money, they have no guns, they have no arrest, they can't arrest nobody, they don't have no riot gear, they just standing there looking cute for Trump in a uniform. I tell you, make this up. Pay attention. But they there to go, oh, Mr. FBI, that one right there running. They running. So don't y'all run. Y'all track stars that practice running. You know, just you bump and stay in shape. Don't you run right now. Don't run. Because if they see you running, they want to know what you're running for. It ain't for your health. Running against the law right now. Running is unlawfully against the law.
Well put.
It's unlawfully unlawfully against the law to run right now. It's unlawfully against the law to just drive through your neighborhood because you got checkpoints. They want to see your papers. Shame. But what I want them to do, because all's fair, love, and war. Trump, I want you to put all these officers and everything in Ward 2 and up there in those rich neighborhoods too. If you're going to put them over there in South East and in Congress Heights and in Columbia Heights and in Mount Pleasant, go put them up there in Georgetown. If you're going to go put them by Howard University, go put them by George Washington University. Let's play fair. Let's play fair. And if you don't pay attention to that, if that's not racism, I don't know what it is. If that's not targeting, I don't know what it is. Because if you go to any of those houses, what's that area called in Ward 3? Begin for P? Go to the Palisades and tell me if you can see the cops up there. Tell me if y'all see a checkpoint up there. And a lot of them probably riding around illegal and without no license because they think they privileged. But they don't get checked. So if they don't have time to go get their license renewed, it's fine. And a lot of them probably be out the country. They probably riding around for their license, but it's okay. It's okay. Because the rich is going to get richer, and the poor and the oppressed will get poor. And that's the real thing. So if we're going to do this, I think it's just fair, Mayor Bowser, to do it in all 8 wards. Ain't that what we say? All 8 wards.
All 8 wards.
All 8 wards. All 8 wards.
All 8 wards.
That's a real thing. Or don't do it in none. How about we don't do it in none? Come on, y'all. I need some more colorful things because, you know, we joyful here at Free DC. Look at our pretty banner. Ain't that pretty? Somebody come on and read some of these those things. What it say? The power's in the people. DC take care of itself. People need love, not cages. Ward 3, stay back off. Make good trouble, y'all. We keep us safe. Don't obey the feds. Ward 5, protect DC. All of us. That was Ward 5. Ward 5 say protect DC. All of us. Defend our autonomy. DC for the people. Hold the line, y'all. Yep. Somebody else give us a message.
DC for the people. Ward 1 loves our neighbors.
DMV strong, I hear. All right, so we
Cleveland Park.
hands off Cleveland Park. What else you got, Raymond?
DC.
Ward 2 says hands off DC. Hopefully we got all 8 words here. I can
Don't
see a bunch of them.
weaponize our government against our people.
Don't weaponize our government against our people. Yes.
Fascism, unhealthy for children.
Fascism is unhelpful for children.
And
I think we can.
things.
And all living things.
People need love in Ward 5.
People need love in Ward 5. Don't obey. Don't obey.
Okay, go.
All right, we are gonna. So as folks know, I think I announced this at the beginning. We are like just in a few minutes. They're like at 2 p.m. They're going to be hearing this case on whether there should be a temporary restraining order that would stop this. You know, it won't stop this huge amount of over-policing, but it would stop this massive illegal escalation from Bondi that came last night. And so, you know, as it says here, the Bondi, or let's say it together, the Bondi order is unlawful. Let's say it again, the Bondi order is unlawful. One more time, the Bondi order is unlawful.
The last part, protect DC.
all come out here and bear witness in moments like this.
Let me hear you out there. Free DC!
Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC!
Creator of life, we give you thanks for this day. A day when the sun is shining down on us. A day when we see life springing forth all around us in the lives of all the other people gathered here. We give you thanks that we have breath in our lungs today. We give you thanks that we have freedom in this space. We give you thanks for this country that allows us to gather and to protest peacefully when things are not as they should be. We give you thanks that you have taught us to value not just some lives, but every human life. We give you thanks that you care about what happens to the people in the District of Columbia just as much as you care about the people of Gaza, just as much as you care about the people of Ukraine, just as much as you care about every person on this planet. That we are special, that we matter. We give you thanks today for all the people and all the places that brought us together in this day and in this time. But we also give you thanks for those who came before us, for those who fought for us to have the right to be here today, for those who fought for us to have the freedom to continue to peacefully assemble. Remind us all today that we would not be here if it wasn't for their sacrifice. Remind us all today that we would not be here if it wasn't for their bravery and for their leadership. And so in the midst of this time that is challenging, this time that seems overwhelming, Creator, give us strength. Make us brave. Make us bold. And Creator, we pray in this time that you would remind us that joy is not something new. That joy is the most powerful weapon that we have against fear. That when darkness and hate come for us, that we respond with light and love. As your prophet Martin Luther King says, there is no darkness that light cannot defeat. Darkness can't defeat darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So as we gather together in this time, as we stand and witness and cheer and celebrate, remind us to be people of light. Remind us to be people of love. Remind us to be people of hope. And remind us to be people of joy. We give you thanks for all the things that we have today, and we give you thanks that you are with us in the road ahead. Oh God, we are mindful of the names in which your people cry out to you here in this district and all over the world. And I pray in the name of your Son. Amen.
And for all other religions, you all get in that protection prayer by the way that you honor your God. Because we are here in America, you have a right to your own religion.
Amen.
Right? Ashe? Ashe-o. And so, we also have every night, because, you know, Free DC, we want to keep people safe. We don't want to escalate. We want to de-escalate, and we want them to de-escalate. That's the goal. The goal is just to get back our city.
Yes.
The goal is to keep each other safe and protect DC. So with that said, every day at 8 o'clock until these terrorists get out of our streets, We want people to go outside your door, right, have it around in your car, carry something in your car, wherever you at 8 o'clock. Just stop, and for 5 minutes, just make noise. Making noise is resistance. Making noise is freedom. Making noise is a sign that we will not comply. And when you make that noise, if you have a social media platform, uplift that video, you making noise, and then hashtag free DC. Trump can't have DC. DC is ours. And then tag Free DC Project. Free DC on, we don't really like Twitter. we try to do Blue Sky, but Blue Sky ain't up there like that. But we do know that people on Twitter need to see our message. So you can add Free DC on Twitter and actually share it, and we're going to reshare your joy. We're going to reshare your resistance. And this is a safe way that you can take action every night until they get out of our streets at 8 o'clock. In Ward 8, if you want to join me tonight, we're going to be at Far Southeast Collaboration Center on Martin Luther King Avenue. And we're going to come together as a community and make some noise. And other wards, any of our wards got anything planned tonight? Alex, meetups, any ward meetups else? Ward 8, the only one? Ward 6 is going to be at Lincoln Park. And you know what? You can just get some of your friends together and do it, or do it by yourself. I do it by myself, because a lot of times they tell me stop being by myself. I be trying, but her and Tubman always traveled alone until she got there with people to the other side. That's why she ain't never get caught. You gotta watch your head with you. And I'm the modern day her and Tubman, so I have no fear. But honestly, y'all, we need to resist in a way that's safe right now. I want the youth not to walk in pairs, not because I want to take away your freedom. I just need you to be safe. So this is a message to our youth. They want you. They want you. So I advise you not to walk in pairs, because you walking in pairs is a crime right now. Unfortunately. It's called walking while being young and black with a couple of your friends. That's the name of that illegal law. So, and the same thing, and for the black community, because they're being targeted, Paris Riders Dreams has a action plan right now for commitment, because truly we're back to enslavement days. So we're asking you to, we go together. Don't go anywhere in oppressed neighborhoods or marginalized neighborhoods by yourself. Pair up, give someone your location, let somebody know where you're going when you go to work, when you go on an errand, if you have to go by yourself, because nobody is safe in these streets right now. We don't have anything, a laser gun to say, no, that's a safe black person, that's a safe migrant. We don't have that.
And they don't care.
And they don't care. They need to make numbers. They looking to make numbers. They looking to serve a false narrative that DC is crime ridden. Now, I'm not going up here and say that DC doesn't have a situation, but every urban city have a situation. Every populated place have a situation. Even Arkansas have a problem, but they don't report white on white crime. Let me say that again. White on white crime don't get reported. GW having illegal parties and y'all not saying shit about it, forget about it. They just as wild as the kids at Howard having parties and underage drinking. You just don't terrorize them. They're your children. You don't want your children in the news. Kaya, because I think we're going to make this. I'm looking for. Hey, Kelsey! This is another one of our co-founders out that we love. You know, me and Kelsey stay in the background. Y'all always see Kaya and Alex's face, but Kelsey is also a co-founder. And Kelsey, you want to talk to them why we need statehood? Yeah, we want that Kelsey because hey, look, this is our statehood queen.
Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? That's the exact reason why we need statehood. Y'all, we need DC statehood because these are our streets and our elected leaders should be making the decisions for our people. We don't need anybody from the White House to Congress telling us what to do right here in DC. We elected these to make the decisions for us, guys. The time is now that they have full autonomy to be the decision makers for what we are facing right now in our nation's capital. The rest of the world is looking at us, guys. The rest of the world has their eyes on DC. And our eyes are on the prize. And the prize is DC statehood. One more time, the prize is DC statehood. Because we are no longer standing in the backgrounds of Congress or the White House's actions that dehumanize the residents of Washington, D.C., specifically our inner city youth. Our inner city youth right now is being targeted, guys. This is a black and brown city. When I say chocolate, y'all say city. Chocolate? City. Chocolate? City. Don't forget it. This is a black and brown city, guys, and we must stand up and protect our inner city youth. And the only way that we can ensure full protection for our folks here in Washington, D.C., again, y'all, I keep coming with this solution. DC statehood. So when I say DC, y'all say statehood. DC? Statehood. DC? Statehood. Period. Because that is what our final rallying cry in this moment is. We need to be making the decisions for ourselves. We know right now that this takeover is illegal. It's unlawful. And shout out to the Attorney General for bringing that to light. He continues to commit crime. And we say shame, 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 shame. Because there is no reason why our mayor and other elected officials aren't the final decision maker in the decision-making process right here in Washington, D.C. And I already stated this earlier this week. The facts are clear. Crime is down in Washington, D.C. Carjackings are down in Washington, D.C. And guess what, y'all? I also stand as a resident of Ward 1 in the U Street corridor. And my neighbors, the ones who are the most carjacked or cars broken into or stolen or what have you, are the ones who set up the 14th and V checkpoint to tell folks to turn away. And so, as one of the most highly impacted neighborhoods of the carjacking and crime that we're talking about, us as residents, and I also, again, I'm the chair of the U Street Neighborhood Association, and I'm the manager of the U Street Main Street. All platforms
they want to do this hostile takeover DC are BS, right? We know that. So the reason they want to take over DC is because authoritarians always want to silence dissent. Now, are we going to let them do that? No! So what we're going to do is we are going to line up. This is going to be a little bit of an exercise, but because I know a lot of folks here, and I believe in you, and I believe that we will win a free DC, we will win liberation for the people of DC, we will win all the things we imagine for our community, and that will take a lot of work, and that means we have skills, and that means we also can line up. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple people fold this banner under and kind of go over to the sidewalk over there and hold it in front. And then what I want people to do is line up behind those people. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the courthouse where they are actually making a decision at 2 p.m. about whether the judge will give a temporary restraining order to stop the illegal orders that were given yesterday. So there were two things that were illegal. One was trying to reverse the Sanctuary Values Act of DC that our elected officials passed. What do we think about that? The other was trying to name a different chief of police, a different person from the person who was appointed by the people we elected, the people of DC. What do we think about that? So we don't want this, right? DC is our home. We don't want them here. That's not, unfortunately, what the judge is hearing right now. That it's not the full picture of what we need. What we need, ultimately, is a termination order, right? What we need is for Congress to say, absolutely not, no. So even if we win this temporary restraining order today, we are going to still be super loud until this is over, until they are out, right? Because DC is our home. DC is our home, right? So what do you guys think? Are we going to let Sam Bondi decide?
All right, guys, yet again, we have been covering this rally taking place outside of the Metropolitan Police D.C. headquarters. Obviously, a number of residents outraged, upset with regard to President Trump's federal takeover of the Washington, D.C. Police Department. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Well, at last look, the National Guard has arrested more than 100 people right here in the nation's capital. That's since President Trump took control of the city's police force. There is and continues to be a concern in the immigrant community about what this all means. Now, to discuss those concerns, we welcome longtime immigration attorney and founder of immigration law firm USA for All, Renata Castro, back here on the Live Zone. Ms. Castro, always good to see you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, you and I might be happy, but I got to tell you, a lot of folks right here in the nation's capital, that's not the case. I'm curious, what's your take on this expansion of presidential authority thus far?
This came as a surprise, but I, as an attorney, believe that the Trump administration is trying to extend its jurisdictional muscle, and D.C. is the perfect area to do that. When we look at the dynamics that are at play when it comes to policing the nation's capital, and the forces that the White House has in controlling this area and the interest, it can be very easy to say, well, Trump just wants to make sure that local residents are safe and that the White House is safe. However, the underlying motive is making sure that the White House continues to exercise unbridled, unlimited control, particularly when it comes to deporting immigrants without due process. And this is the major concern. There are state level concerns, but at a national level, are we going to become a nation where we arrest first and ask questions second? Because that is just a recipe to create a very explosive and chaotic situation, even for United States citizens. And that is the main concern of the legal community today.
Yeah, that has to make up for a huge mess right here in the nation's capital. Speaking of which, I'm curious, what does it mean to the immigrants literally living right here in the nation's capital to be dealing with this?
It has to be very scary, but I have to say this is not exclusive of just immigrants in DC. When we're looking at police departments all over the United States, they're trying to fall into Trump's good graces and act as an extension of the ICE police force. We have seen several police departments expose their discontentment with the fact that the Trump administration is aggressively trying to recruit their officers. So for immigrants in DC, they're now going to have to be concerned with ICE in its streets, but also the DC Police Department and all the other forces at play acting as an immigrant watchtower without any concern for due process. But it's very important to remain true to the fact that the United States is still a nation of laws. So if you're an immigrant and you happen to be wrongfully detained, you must seek legal representation and fight for your rights.
Yeah, key points that you just touched on. Obviously, we all saw what took place the other night right there on 14th in U Street, or in the U Street corridor, I should say, with regard to a security checkpoint. We know that officers were checking for immigration status along with vehicle inspections. I got to be honest with you, Renata, I consider myself somewhat well educated. I was not familiar, however, with the current law, and I did not know that if an officer asks me for my ID, it is incumbent upon me to actually produce that. I'm stating that because if I didn't know that, I would assume so many others didn't know the same. And so it's all about perhaps educating oneself and learning what you can and cannot do.
This is certainly a major point of contention, and I think that several Americans, millions of Americans, are unaware over how overly broad and encompassing immigration law really is and how it will impact the liberties that we Americans have in the United States. You mentioned, if an officer asks you for your ID, you must produce it. But I'm going to go a step further. An officer does not need to accept your ID or proof of citizenship at face value. He or she has the ability to detain you while they verify the validity of your citizenship claim, for example. It's not common. It's something that was last used during a wartime where the American Japanese were detained, and the Supreme Courts came pretty hard on the American federal government for using what's coming very short of racial profiling to justify an immigration enforcement. But I am very concerned in a city that's as vibrant and diverse as DC. Are we going to be afraid of not looking as a certain stereotype because of the situation we have. Is an ID going to be enough, and how much is going to be enough? And that's a concern that I hope that other educated, knowledgeable, and concerned citizens share so that we stop this madness.
Yeah, yet again, a very valid concern. I guess we need to pose the question, is this just the beginning? And if so, where do we go from here?
I don't think it's just, I think it's just the beginning. I think that it can get a lot worse before it gets better. And my main concern is that the federal government and federal and state resources are going to start being used to pursue personal vendettas. We have seen the ICE higher office incentivizing individuals. In fact, the state attorney in the state of Florida incentivizing disgruntled exes to report their undocumented former love interest, which is really crazy. But I can see this becoming the norm, where individuals are using the local forces to eliminate the possibility of a, I don't know, business competitor or a dislike at work or even a love interest. And I would hope that this is just a neurotic development in my head, but that we never get to see an America that looks like that.
Renata, I got about a minute left, and with that said, you are a woman of the people, meaning you have well, let's say, are in constant contact with not only the people, but your clients. What are they saying about what's going on as of right now?
They're afraid, but immigrants are resilient people. They are remaining true to themselves. They're working, they're paying taxes, they're trying their best to raise their families. They're people just like us, and they want to prove their case that they're here to make this country truly great by working and contributing to society. They need to be heard. They need legislation to acknowledge our reliance on them, and we need to make sure that we're not being dissuaded by propaganda that's far from the truth.
Immigration attorney and founder of immigration law firm USA for All, Renata Castro, joining us yet again on the Live Zone. Always good to see you, Renata. Make it a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, guys, good to take you yet again to the protest that it actually started in front of the Metropolitan Police Department headquarters. A number of the protesters then began to march. They are now yet again speaking. Let's go ahead and take a look in.
Other people, in addition to that, could go in. So if people do have bar cards and would like to attempt to go in, folks should go ahead and try and do that. For the rest of us, we're going to figure out how many people we can get inside. And for the rest of us, we're going to bear witness for a little while out here, right? We're gonna make it clear to people that the people of DC do not want any of this. It's not just that we want this temporary restraining order, we want a permanent restraining order. In fact, if I could personally get a restraining order against every single person in the Trump administration, I would do it. Not just for me personally, for the entire population of DC. All 700,000 people of us deserve to have a restraining order against everyone in this tyrannical administration of authoritarians who would like to take our home away from us, who would like to harm our neighbors, who would like to attack us and over-police us and empty people who are just trying to sleep outside. They are just trying to sleep. A biological need that people have to do. They have to sleep. It should not be illegal. It cannot be illegal. Those are not our DC values. It is not our DC values to have illegal checkpoints all over our community. So if you're just driving around, you can be stopped and abducted. What do we think about that? These are not our DC values. These people do not represent us. This is a hostile takeover of our community, and we will not allow it. Right?
We will not allow it.
Let's say it. We will not allow this.
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 All right, so here we are. If we win this, again, this restraining order, this is not the end. And I do want to make that clear, that it's not even the end. The other thing we need to do, right, is we need to terminate all of this. All of this takeover, we need to terminate it. Which means we need people in other states. And we've seen these attacks happen all over the country, right? right? We've seen them go after the people of LA, and we've seen the beautiful communities that have risen up in LA to stop that, right? So we are here, right, in solidarity with the people of LA, but also we are uniquely vulnerable here in DC. Uniquely vulnerable because we cannot control our own National Guard, because we only have limited home rule. We are uniquely vulnerable, and that has to change, right? So we need, so first step we need is to get this temporary restraining order today. Then we need Congress to terminate this hostile takeover of DC, right? And we need everybody in this country to say, no, we will not allow the capital of our country to be taken over by a dictator who wants to silence dissent. We need everybody in the country to stand not just with the people of DC, but to actually stand up for themselves in kicking out the National Guard from DC, in kicking out, this very ugly relationship between our police department and these federal agents who, again, are often not even labeled and are running around with masks, basically abducting people from our community, kicking people out of their tents when they're just trying to sleep. So that's the next step. But even then, we are not done, right? Because we are not going to be satisfied even if we terminate this hostile takeover of DC. We know that we deserve more than that, right? We deserve so much more than just kicking the National Guard out and going back to where we were. We deserve a free DC. We deserve, let's do it for a second. Free DC! 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 All right, so even when we get what do we need in order to get a free DC? First step of this is exactly that. So let's do it again. When I say DC, you say statehood. DC, statehood. DC, statehood. DC, statehood. DC, statehood. DC, statehood. DC, statehood. But I'm going to say something a little controversial. Even when we get that is not enough for me. I would like to see liberation for the people of DC. And not everyone in every state has that, right? Even now. So we actually need to get laws that protect the most vulnerable people in this country. Because what I am here to tell you is that the things that they say are the most wrong, things like diversity and equity and inclusion, are the things that make us human, are the things that make us human.
So we're here in front of the courts, y'all. It is our constitutional right to watch the courts. It is our duty to watch the courts because when the courtrooms are empty, our people are disappeared by the state. And so we're here at the courthouse today to take our people back. I'm going to teach you a song. All right? I went down to the courthouse and I took back what they stole from me. That's my part. And then I want you to say, took it back. Practice. Took it back. Sing it with me. Took it back. And now they're under my feet. Under my feet. Under my feet. Ain't gonna let no court take all over me. All right, we're gonna do it again. I went down to the courthouse and I took back what they stole from me. Took it back. Took it back. And now they're under my feet. Stop! Under my feet. Under my feet. Ain't gonna let no dictator walk all over me. Alright, come on, put your hands together. I went down to the courthouse and I took back what they stole from me. What they got now? And now they're under my feet. Under my feet. Under my feet, ain't gonna let no dictator walk all over me. All right. One more time. I went down to the courthouse and I took back what they stole from me. Took it back. Took it back. And now they're under my feet. Stop. Under my feet. Stop. Under my feet. Ain't gonna let no fascist walk all over me. Alright, that's all I got. Alright. Got it? Amazing. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm so happy to see all of you out here today. Look, I love songs that we all know, so. This little light of ours, we're gonna let it shine. This little light of ours. This little light of ours, we're gonna let it shine. This little light of ours, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Here at the courthouse, here at the courthouse, we're gonna let it shine. Come on. Here at the courthouse, we're gonna let it shine.
after me. Freedom is for you. Freedom is for you. Freedom is for you. And freedom is for me. Freedom is for you. Freedom is for you. And freedom is for me. Freedom is for me. Let everything that has breath rise up in dignity. From the rising sun.
All right, this one is a quick one. All right. Solidarity. You can repeat after me if you want. So call and stop. Solidarity. Solidarity. Next song. Solidarity. How you doing? Slow down. Solidarity. Solidarity. All people rise together, free. Let's try it all together once. It goes. Solidarity, 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 solidarity. All people rise together. Everybody should know this one. Mama, mama, can't you see? Mama, mama, can't you see? What police they do to me? What police they do to me? They lock us up, they shoot us down. Ain't no justice in this town. morning with my mind. Stayed on DC. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on DC. Hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on DC. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on DC. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on DC.
D.C. So we need to make sure that the whole city of Washington, D.C. is not just hearing us, but with us. So when I say D.C., I need y'all to say it as loud as y'all can. That's statehood. Because they need to hear us from Ward 8 to Ward 1, okay? So when I say D.C., y'all say statehood. D.C. Statehood! 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 All right, I see people up there on roofs. I see y'all recording and everything. to feel it from the depths of your soul. And then manifest that shit, you push it out. And so when we're out here and we're gathering and we're practicing and resisting, I know y'all hot as me to take a breath, come back. I understand. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being out here today and practicing resistance. Because this is how we get free. We get free together. We get free by going together. The lyrics, DC is our home, you can't have it Trump. DC is our home, you can't have it Trump. It's our home, it's our rules, we don't want you here. So those have to take me. It's a really loud mic. Okay, so DC is our home, you can't have it Trump. DC is our home. You can't have it, Trump. Listen, clapping. DC is our home. You can't have it, Trump. It's our home. It's our rules, and we don't want you here. Try again. DC is our home. You can't have it, Trump. DC is our home. You can't have it, Trump. DC is our home. You can't have it, Trump. It's our home. It's our rules, but we don't want you here. Last one is DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. It's our home. It's our rules, but we don't want you here. Let's do that troops one more time. DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. DC is our home. The troops aren't welcome here. It's our home. It's our rules, and we don't want you here. All right. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Turn us around. Turn us around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Let's speed it up. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. No politicians ain't gonna let politicians turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. Ain't gonna let politicians turn us around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. No courthouse ain't gonna let no courthouse turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. Ain't gonna let no courthouse turn us around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Injustice ain't gonna let injustice turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. Ain't gonna let injustice turn us around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Nobody ain't gonna let nobody turn us around, turn us around, turn us around. When I say free, you say DC. Free. DC. Free. DC. Free. DC. Free. DC. What do we want? Oh. What do we want? No, we want freedom. We want freedom. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. If we can't get it, we can't get it. Shut it down. We can't get it. Shut it down. But if we can't get it, shut it down. All right, we're going to do courthouse one more time, y'all. We are here outside of the courts to protect our comrades, y'all, to stand up for each other, to stand in the gap. As I said earlier, it's important that each and every one of you out here are court watch trained. You know how to watch the courts. It's important that each and every person out here is trained in how to be a good upstander. We have to look out for one another. Oh, I know which one I want to do. It just came back. All right. And guess what? When we continue to show up for our neighbors, when we continue to fight against fascism, because we got to call a spade, this is fucking fascism. When we continue to fight back, guess what's going to happen? We're going to win. We're going to win. That's the only outcome. We're going to win. So do you believe? You remember we talked about this earlier? For freedom to come, what you gotta do is gotta start in your gut. You gotta believe that shit with your whole core. And then you push it out of your being and you manifest that shit. Say manifest that shit. Manifest that shit. Manifest that shit.
All right, yet again, guys, you have been listening to protesters that are outraged with regard to President Trump taking over the Metropolitan Police Department. That rally, if you will, starting outside of the headquarters of the D.C. police headquarters, I should make mention, and then they marched down to the courthouse, the federal courthouse at that, where they will continue their rally at least for the next hour or so. Hey, want to remind you later on this afternoon, President Trump, of course, has that monumental meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. If you want to find out what happens and when it happens, obviously, you need to download the Fox Local app. In order to do so, you need to click on the QR code you see right there on your TV screen, and that way you can find out the latest with regard to all things surrounding bringing peace within that region. On behalf of my producer, Remy, I'm Guy Lambert. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, do you like it or not tonight at 7 o'clock? The Take right now.